COVID-19 has impacted schools, critical issue for so many of us as students return or try to return after the winter break. The new highly contagious Omicron variant has spread right across the country, of course, including in Texas, where data from the Department of State Health Services shows more than 230,000 positive student cases and over 45,000 positive staff cases were reported in Texas public schools alone. For more on this critical problem facing so many of us, joining us now, Superintendent for the Houston Independent School District, Millard House II. Thank you very much for joining us, Superintendent.
Hi, Terry. It's good to be here with you.
Okay, so you just heard those latest stats coming from the DSHS regarding COVID in Texas public schools. According to Houston ISD officials, your district, more than 45,000 students were absent for the first day back from break last week. We all know how critical it is for kids to be in school and how frustrating it is when they can't. What's your reaction to that figure of the number of students in your school district who couldn't make it back?
So yes, indeed, we did have quite a few students and staff that were out the first day of school, which was a week ago today. Of course, you know, what's most important is that our students and staff are focused on safety, and safety is at the forefront of everything that we do, Terry. What we did see is an increase in enrollment throughout the week. So we saw 45,515 kids that were absent on day one, Monday, January the 3rd, 26,259 on Tuesday, 26,227 on Wednesday, and 24,000 on Thursday. So we saw a trend that got better. But what's most important is that we learn how to live with this disease, Terry. We launched our on-campus COVID-19 PCR testing for all staff and students this past week, and approximately 85% of our 280 plus schools. Our campuses are working bi-weekly or weekly, hosting testing sites, opportunities for all of our students and staff. Just last week, starting on Thursday, we tested over 1,000 at 14 sites. We saw a positivity rate in our schools that was about 7.14%, which is 4 times lower than what it is in Houston, Harris County. So we're learning how to live with COVID. We're learning how to educate in COVID, and I think that's extremely important, especially being that we have vaccinations in place. We have treatment for COVID. So we're going to do our best to provide the kind of consistency that we know our children need to be educated in, Terry.
And Superintendent, that's it exactly, isn't it? We need to learn how to live with COVID. You have a lot of stakeholders, though, reluctant about it. Some parents, obviously, who are worried about vaccinations in their young children. Some teachers, obviously, who don't feel entirely safe doing their jobs. How do you manage all that? And what's the bottom line for you?
So I think one of the things in terms of management of COVID-19 is it starts with a mask mandate. We instituted a mask mandate at the start of the 21-22 school year. That has provided an ancillary support in our district. And the data shows, in comparison to other districts around us that do not have a mask mandate, that it's making a difference. We're continuing to strongly encourage all of our students and staff to get tested, regardless of their vaccination status. We also continue to expand our partnerships with our mayor and others in our community to lift up mega testing sites in some of our parking lots where we have plenty of room. Right now in Harris County, we can actually handle about 35,000 tests on a weekly basis. So we have to continue encouraging our students that are medically able to get vaccinated as well. Although we have a 70 to 75% vaccination rate for all of our employees in HISD, and in Harris County, we only have a 15 to 17% vaccination rate for children. So we want to continue pushing these items to make certain that this surge is not a surge that really catches us off kilter and causes too much disruption.
So that is quite a disparity. But let me ask a big picture question here. Now we're We're heading actually into year 3 of this pandemic. It has had an impact, maybe on all of us, but certainly on schools so acutely. What's the biggest challenge you'd say at this point in this pandemic that your school district is facing right now?
I think the biggest challenge is the most obvious piece, and that's simply the learning loss. So many children over the course of essentially 2 years now, Terry, have gotten behind. And the virtual environment is not the environment that a majority of our kids in public education that they're learning. So ensuring that we provide the best systems and processes to not only catch up, but to also ensure that students are getting on-level supports to meet the standards that we know and expect that they're going to be responsible for at the end of the year.
It's so critical, really, as my own kids. I mean, I can tell, despite all the efforts of my wife and of the schools themselves, it's just hard to learn, especially for little ones, through those little Zoom boxes. And we do hope that we can all get back to school as soon as possible. Superintendent for the Houston Independent School District, Millard House II, thanks very much for helping us learn about it.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.